You didn't get into structural engineering just to crunch the numbers. You get into this because you want to build structures that stand the test of time. You want to design buildings that keep people safe even when the nature does it worst. But as a beginner, there is a specific fear that keeps us up at night. See, the villain in our story isn't just the earthquakes, it's the hidden weakness inside the concrete, and it's called brittle failure. See, in reinforced concrete, failure happens in different ways. Some are slow and predictable, but others are catastrophic. Let's say bond failure. This is when the steel slips from the concrete. It is brittle. Shear failure. This is breaks without warning. It's also brittle. Compression failure. If a section is over reinforced, means too much steel, the concrete crushes before the steel yields, and this is a brittle compression failure. So if you design your columns to be the weak link, you risk Storey collapse mechanism. This means the column fail before the beams, potentially leading to the failure of the whole structure. See, we know that fear. You can't design a building to resist infinite forces, but you can decide how it behaves when it gets pushed too far. The code, specifically IS 13920, acts as our guide here. It tells us that we don't just need strength, we need ductility. See, ductility is the ability of a building to deform without collapsing. See, it is the difference between a glass rod snapping and a paperclip bending. See, to achieve this, we look at the structure as a chain containing both ductile and brittle links. See, to defeat the brittle failure, we follow a specific plan called capacity design concepts. See, here are the 3 steps to ensure your building survives. Step 1. Make the beams yield first. See, we must ensure the ductile link yield before the brittle link fails. This means designing under reinforced sections where the tension steel yields before the concrete crushes. The code limits the maximum steel ratio to ensure this happens. Step number 2. Strong column, weak beam. We must force the failure into the beams, not the columns. Columns are generally less ductile than beams due to axial compression. Therefore, we design a beam hinge mechanism. We want beam to act as fuses that yields to dissipate energy while the columns remain strong to hold the building up. Step number 3. Confine the concrete. See, concrete is naturally brittle with a low strain capacity of about 0.35%, but if we confine it with closely spaced closed stirrups, we considerably improve its strain capacity. So here is what you need to do on your next project. 1. Check your steel ratios. Ensure your beams are under reinforced so they fall in tension, not compression. Follow the strong column, weak beam philosophy. Make sure the columns are stronger than the beams framing into them. Detail your hinge locations with tight confinement reinforcement. So see, if we ignore these rules, we let the brittle mechanism win. Shear failure proceeds flexural yielding. The concrete crushes instantly and the column snaps. The structure collapses before the occupants can escape, and that is the reality of brittle failure. But if you follow the plan, you achieve a sway mechanism. The beams yield, absorbing the seismic energy. The column remains standing. The building creates hinges in safe locations. The structure may need repairs after the quake, but the people inside go home to their families. That is the power of ductile detailing. So think of your building like a chain. If you pull a chain that has one rubber link and one glass link, you want the rubber link to stretch before the glass breaks. In structural engineering, steel is our rubber and concrete is our glass. Design so the rubber stretches first. So I hope these concepts help you to understand the RCC building's ductile detailing importance. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, always remember, don't just learn software, learn concepts. Thank you.